Thank you.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange says he has had enough dirt on Hillary Clinton to get her indicted. He's threatening to release emails related to the Clinton campaign before the election in November. Of course, WikiLeaks was behind the release of tens of thousands of emails from the Democratic National Committee. And they came out on the eve of last week's Democratic convention and caused an uproar. As you remember, we reported they showed top Democratic officials favored Clinton over rival Bernie Sanders. And as Fox News has been reporting, intelligence sources say the evidence points to Russia being behind the hacking of the DNC servers. The FBI is still investigating. But today, a brand new claim about who was behind the attack. And if it's true, it would be a bombshell. A former top intel official claims U.S. intelligence agents hacked the emails and handed them over to WikiLeaks, allegedly all because they wanted to hurt Hillary Clinton. Senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano joins me now. He knows the former official who is making that claim. What's he talking about, Judge?
He is talking about a general antipathy that the intelligence community has towards Mrs. Clinton, and it has two sources. The email scandal resulted in the exposure of the names of U.S. undercover agents operating in the Middle East. In the case of all of them, their cover was blown. In the case of a few of them, their lives were lost, and the intelligence community is furious at Mrs. Clinton for that. They are also furious at her for her secret war against Muammar Gaddafi in Libya, during the course of which she caused arms to be delivered to terrorist groups. They warned her that these groups were terrorist groups who would use the arms back at American intel operatives on the ground, and it is believed that some of these groups used one of the weapons to kill U.S. Ambassador Chris Stevens. Now, that does not justify the behavior. If the NSA did this, as the former high-ranking official says they did, they committed a federal crime, and they, in order to inject themselves into politics, there's no justification for that if they did it. There's one interesting little footnote here, which supports the theory that the NSA did it.
Okay.
When the Chinese government was identified as having hacked into personnel records of U.S. government officials, the Obama administration complained loud and long to anybody that would hear to Beijing. Not a peep of complaint to the Kremlin.
No, but we did see the president in recent days and weeks, and again more recently, say that his greatest regret, foreign policy-wise, or one of them, was Libya, which is interesting.
Yeah, it is
because
interesting.
I wrote down what you said. The secret war against Gaddafi.
Well, Donald Trump, frequently raises this. Mrs. Clinton thought this would be the crown jewels of her achievement as Secretary of State. Get rid of Gaddafi without using the American military, replace it with a democracy.
Well, it is something that you can wear, but it's not a crown. I would say it's an albatross, but go ahead.
More a crown of thorns for her, because Gaddafi was killed, he was slaughtered. It was not replaced with a democracy. He was replaced with chaos and with ISIS.
All right, so have you ever seen anyone in recent history have this much trouble over the technology now that's 25 plus years old called email?
No, and it just keeps coming. And in light of Mr. Trump's recent events, the Khan family, and how that's turned on him, the email, her inability to use email, the dangers she caused with email might be one of his strongest arguments against her.
Right, but he's not making it right now.
No, he's not. No. Now, listen, I'm not here to give him political advice, but the email story is a stronger one for him than what he's spending his time on.
Well, and all along, because you and I, every now and then, I should be full disclosure with our audience, I will come down unannounced and uninvited to the judge's office, and I will sit.
That's impossible, because you're always invited.
And you always to educate, the education of it. You're so sweet. So my big question for you is, with the Clinton Foundation, is there more to come? Because those emails had so much, and so you saw recently Donald Trump say about, hey, anybody out there, including Russia, which a lot of people said, oh, that's espionage, what is that? Right. But if those emails exist,
well, one of the things that this former high-ranking NSA official said was, the NSA has all of Mrs. Clinton's emails, and the FBI knows it, but the FBI did not come calling. Now, Director Comey complained in his testimony to the House Judiciary Committee 2 weeks after he said we're not going to seek her indictment, that she successfully destroyed some of the emails. So the NSA is coming, saying, why don't you ask us for them?
Why don't they ask?
I don't know the answer to that. I will guess
Who has to ask? Can you and I ask?
No. The FBI could ask. There's a statute that permits them to ask.
Did Comey not ask?
He did not. And there's a statute that permits the NSA to give them. But if the NSA gives them, then the NSA will be admitting that they do have everybody's emails, something they've never admitted to. Edward Snowden says they do. This former high-ranking official
why would we doubt
creative
Edward
software
Snowden?
says they do.
I mean, I remember back in the day when Eric Holder said that, he's gone back and forth about Edward Snowden, but that this person was a problem. So why would we doubt that he would be right or wrong about this?
I don't carry water for Eric Holder, but under him, Edward Snowden was indicted for espionage. And as soon as he left the Justice Department, he became a defender of Edward Snowden.
Right. I don't understand. Okay, real quickly, Comey, did he do his job by not asking the NSA? I have a concern now. Did he not go far enough? Did he not do what he was supposed to do?
Okay, there's 2 ways to look at this. He knows a lot more about the case than we could know, and he must have had a reason for not asking. Could he have asked? Yes. If he had asked, would he have had more information in front of him? Absolutely.
Wow. If it is, in fact, U.S. intelligence officials who have hacked into the DNC, and I would suppose along those lines the DCCC, since Russia was blamed for both, is my understanding. If it was, in fact, our own government, what's the punishment for that?
They committed a crime. It is not a crime for WikiLeaks to release, but it is a crime for them to hack and hand it over to WikiLeaks. That's the law. And they know the law. These guys have tutorials on what's lawful and what's not.
Wow. Okay. Judge, that's a lot of information.
A story with legs, as we say.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The U.S. mission against the Islamic State savages is expected